What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today we are talking about some front flipper knives and why they are misunderstood. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. And before you head out, do me a huge favor and hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciated, everyone. Really helps get these videos pushed out there to more people. Feel free to let me know what you are carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So I often get the comment, I hate front flippers, why buy a front flipper? Just a lot of hate for front flippers. And you could, insert any topic and there's going to be hate on it or dislike on it. But I think front flippers are really misunderstood, and mainly because there are front flipper designs that are horribly executed, right? That's just plain and simple. There's front flippers that the design of the front flipper is horrible. It's pokey, it's stabby, it's uncomfortable. And then you also have on the flip side knives that are front flippers and they're horribly tuned. So you can have a really well-designed front flipping mechanism. When the knife is horribly tuned, they just don't match. And the same with a front flipper. You could have a well-tuned knife, but the front flipper's horrible. It's pokey, it's uncomfortable, and it's not a good match in that case either. So you kind of have to have a perfect mixture. But there are knives out there that fit that category, and one of them is a new knife that I just got in. Now, I've handled this design before in a couple variations, the Momentum from Kuby. This is their premium edition. It's a brand new offering from them. We're getting an M390 harpoon style drop point blade. We have the dual thumb studs, the well executed front flipper, titanium handles. They have this nice, beautiful micro milled pattern done, titanium backspacer, milled tie clip. Just an excellent design overall. And this thing is tuned extremely well. The front flipper is done extremely well. It goes straight up. It's jimped all the way up to the very top corner. And I would even say is to go all the way around one jimp. And that is done here. So that way when you're up here on this corner, you still have a lot of grab. Now, this front flipper is designed in such a way that you don't even need that. And this jimping could be even more spread apart and it would still be fine. Because you have this nice landing area here, and because it's up above the top of the knife, because the knife is rounded, it's just a perfect combination for a front flipper. Now, we're going to bring out some other ones and talk about those as well. That way we can get an idea of different price points and different styles, but still maintaining that, satisfying, well done front flipper. So you can't mention front flipper, at least in my opinion, and not bring up Ray Laconico. He does an excellent job on his front flipper designs. And then the company who makes it for him, like CJRB in this case with the Echo, they do an excellent job in tuning the knife for that front flipper. But here you can see yet again a nice flat surface, so that way you can get some surface area, some good grippage on that front flipper. The jimping's a little wider on this one than, say, the Momentum is. But same case, the jimping could have been wider here and it would still be excellent. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Because of that flat surface and because of the way it's designed, you're going to mainly be up here, which is above the knife, above the top of the knife. So that means you can get a lot of leverage, and by the time you land, you're all the way over top of the knife. So you're getting, there's nothing in your way here, stopping you from really giving it, some good inertia, right? Or whatever, good energy. you can really get on it, and it's not going to stop you. It's not going to be uncomfortable. It's tuned very well. So that is one of the things you want to look for, when looking at a knife that has a front flipper, that is a front flipper only, because a front flipper only can still be very satisfying. Now, I know these both have alternate methods of opening, but I will still go out and buy a front flipper only if I really enjoy the design and I trust that it's going to be tuned properly. I will still go out and get a front flipper only. Just because you get one doesn't mean you have to continue buying them every knife in and knife out. But I think the people who either don't give them a shot, period, or people who have gotten one or two that they don't like because they're unsatisfying for one reason or another, I think should try another front flipper that is well executed, that's well tuned. And I think, some people may still dislike them for whatever reason, but I think a lot of people would kind of turn the corner, because I was in the same boat. When I first got my first couple front flippers, I didn't see, what all the hoopla was about front flippers. But as I got a few other ones, I got, front flippers incorporated with other methods that were tuned well. The front flipper was executed well. I started to kind of turn the corner and actually start to enjoy a front flipper. So I could seriously bring out front flippers all day long that are executed very well. I guess, someone would say maybe bring out ones that aren't that great. And maybe I'll think of something here in the midst of this video. But here's another one that can't really go, without being spoken about. The Sharp by Design Mini T here. This is how you do a front flipper. And as you can see, it's very similar to these Kuby models that have a front flipper. You want that nice flat going up over the top of the knife. That way your leverage is good. You can get a lot of leverage. You have that surface area and you can push, over top of that knife, and you're going to go right over top. And these are going to be tuned extremely well. This is going to be a lot more premium, in price point than the Echo is, for sure. It's going to be more than the Momentum. This is a very affordable option that's well done. This is kind of a mid-tier option, as far as price point. And then this is going to be more on the premium side. But as you can see, they're very similar in the way that they are designed and then in the way that they function. Let's see if we can bring out a few more. So here is one that's a little bit different than these three, but still executed and tuned to perfection. We have the Renegade Provisions Co. God of Mischief, or the GOM. Just a beautiful knife and very well done when it comes to that front flipper and the tuning. Riot did this, Riot did that. So the Mini T, they do an excellent job on the tuning, and the designers that they have doing, some of these various knives typically know how to do a front flipper. And, although these are fairly different in the way they look, but the way that they act and the way that they're designed, you can still see you have that nice flat surface area here. And then at the top, you're still going to be riding over the top of that knife. So you can get all that leverage. There's nothing in your way, and it is jimped properly up and all the way around, which is excellent. That way, when you're riding up this front flipper here, you still get all that grip. It just works really, really well. And I believe these are still in stock somehow, some way. But if you like this look and you're in the market for a more premium ended knife, I believe these are still in stock. And this was my knife of the year in 2022. And this is still one of my favorite knives ever in my collection. There's no doubt about it. The Renegade Provisions Co. GOM. It's comfortable. It's slicey. It's aesthetically beautiful. It is one hell of a knife all the way around. So I might get shouted at for this one, but it's not a perfect example, but it's pretty close. And I still love the knife. I've bought 2 of these. I have the more premium one, and then this is a semi-premium offering, and then they have affordable offerings as well. But the Kuby Ruckus here, I love this knife. I like the blade shape. You know, I like all the things about this knife. That's why I've bought 2. But the front flipper leaves a little bit to be desired, and here you can see exactly why. So to start, we do have our nice flat surface, but as you can see, there's not much room here from the front of the scale to that front flipper, which means you're going to lose some of that oomph that you can get on some of these. And then the second thing that's intertwined with that is it doesn't either A, come up high enough, or B, this should be back a lot farther than it is. And see here, you are well below the top of that knife, which just means you have to really know how this knife works in order to really clear over top of the knife. But this is a knife to someone who is not good at front flipping. They've never done it, you know, that sort of thing. This is a horrible knife to practice on because it's just not designed with the sole intent of being a good front flipper. I think it was just kind of, it works, but it was just kind of thrown on there, in my opinion. It works, and you have to really know the knife in order to get it. Because I remember first getting this knife, it wasn't the easiest front flipper in the world. It still works. You can still get the leverage on it, but I don't know if it probably could have been possible to extend it so it could go up a little bit more, and then that could have just wrapped over top, you know, maybe move that in a little bit and have it go over top of your stop pin here. So that way it could have been brought up a little bit more. But I think had this come up just maybe like 2 more jimps or so, you know, that high, you would have been up here a little further, closer to the top of this knife, and you would have been able to get a lot more leverage. You know, just because I can front flip this knife doesn't mean it's satisfying and doesn't mean that it works well. It's just that I know this knife and I know how it works and I know how to do it so that I can, you know, get it done. But somebody who just isn't acquainted with front flippers, you know, you might see this knife and that it's a front flipper, and you know, that's where the issue is. There's knives like this that can still be front flipped. You know, it might be an awesome design, it might be an awesome knife, but the front flipper is just a little bit, you know, unsatisfactory. And that's the case with a lot of different knives. There's certain things you want to look for, and the main thing is you want to try to be over the top of that knife, and that's what makes it a lot easier, a lot more user-friendly, you know, than something like this. When you see a front flipper that's really down low, especially according to the top of the knife, it could be, you know, causing issues for someone who is very new to front flippers. So basically, be on the lookout, and before you buy something, if you're new and you're unsure, ask somebody. Ask in a comment of a video. You know, it doesn't have to be my videos. It could be, you know, any, you know, certain content creator, and I'm sure there'd be more than a dozen people who would help that person out, try to find, you know, a good front flipper, you know, for their given price point. I know I would certainly try to help you. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask them down in the comments. Either way, I love hearing from you guys. Let me know what your input is on front flippers. Do you sit on the side of hating them? Do you love them? Are you just kind of in between? You know, you don't mind them, you use them, but you want something else included. Or, you know, are you thinking about giving one a try? You know, and you're just not sure of which one to get. Maybe you had a bad experience with one, or you're just, you know, completely unsure of where to go with it. Let me know down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Really helps get the videos pushed out there, guys. And if you're new here, well, we release videos just like this one every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple of new videos. Go check one of those out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you for watching. I will catch you on the next